think we sound good. We should.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Stuff.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Praise the Run, episode 29?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
29 sounds right.
29 does sound right. I'm MrBenShow, or Benjamin Lucky. This is Patrick.
Hey.
Patrick McKinstry.
That's me.
It's another podcast. We were gonna do a normal scheduled one, but then there was like no news because of, we had talked like 3 days before and talked about all the news.
Right.
And then nothing happened over the weekend besides BlizzCon. I don't give a shit about anything Blizzard has to say.
Yeah.
And it seems like the rest of the world didn't as well, because nobody talked about anything that happened at BlizzCon. There was the indie convention, the indie showcase for horror that the Mix put on that I didn't watch, that I need to watch to see if anything. I'm sure there's going to be good stuff in there. Maybe we can do a reaction video to that in like a day or so. But that happened during Halloween time frame.
Yeah.
I think that was Halloween day exactly. But other than that, we have news that happened 2 weeks ago to talk about. That's really all I have is the Sir Connor report. And we just didn't have enough time last week to talk about it because we had it was like a 2-hour long episode already.
Yeah.
But we've been playing games. So we can talk about games we've been playing. I've not caught up on Silent Hill Ascension after that first encounter with it.
Yeah.
I've heard horrible things about it.
Oh, really?
Like, people who have put in money, it, crashing the game and then restarting and then eating people's money as if they never paid the $20 for their battle pass or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of memes coming out of, all the emotes and stuff. There's an emote, it's just the words, "It's trauma," in giant rainbow lettering going around.
No way.
And that's an emote for
That's
the
so
Silent
funny.
Hill game.
Why?
I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's funny because it does fit the Silent Hill theme, but it's not. If it was trauma with blood all over it or something, that would be more on par with this giant rainbow bubble lettering of "It's trauma." It looks
to lighten the mood in the middle of a
yeah
incident or something.
All the other emotes in the thing are emojis of those GIF art emojis of emojis. I don't know why I'm saying like that. Emojis of all the characters face palming. And that's the only emote. Yeah.
So you either get that or "It's trauma."
Yeah. All the other emotes are face palm emotes.
I feel like there's a million different directions they could have gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so strange. So I didn't catch up on that, though. I've just heard a bunch of stories about that game, just being super shitty.
And the facepalm emote is early 2000s.
Right.
You know? Sure, we still use it, but it's not like a classic.
Well, even the GIF art emojis are
Yeah.
2010.
Right. Yeah, give it the
something.
times. Learn your newer meme emojis.
Yeah. Jeez. But I finished Costume Quest. That was joyful.
Nice, was it? That's good.
Yeah, that was fun. I only had a few more hours left, I think, when we left off last. It's a 5-hour game. It's super short.
No word.
But yeah, it's just a good jolly time. That it ends with a giant boss fight, or it's 2 giant boss fights in a row. That were pretty hard. The game's not built around difficulty at all, but it's also not extremely balanced.
Yeah.
It's kind of your characters are on par with the enemies, and it's just I guess kind of strategizing. I don't feel like I had much strategy at the end of I'm just trying to pump out as much damage as I can and then heal when I can.
Right.
which I guess that's how most turn-based
strategy,
RPGs are. Yeah. But yeah, I had a lot of fun filming that. I finished that, and I went back to The Godfather, the game.
Nice.
And I did about 7 hours of that yesterday. Holy shit, that game's weird, man.
Yeah,
that game
I
is
bet.
so weird. I remember that game so well, of like all these great memories of like choking out dudes and shit. And sure, that's in that, but like it feels so aimless all the time.
Yeah.
There's the game's favorite thing to do. It really wants you to do the side missions, right? And the side missions are just go into businesses and extort them. Go in and be like, you need the mob's protection. And they're like, no, I don't. And then you got to punch them a bit and then be like, you really need it now. And they're like, yeah, we'll pay. And then you do that a bunch. What the game does to get you to do that is it drops you out of a main story mission. And then it's just like, I don't know, man. Go extort some shit for a while. We'll call you back when the story's ready to go for you. It's
so
like,
funny.
Okay, man.
Like you just can't continue for a minute.
Yeah, so you just gotta go do some side shit and
That's
then
so funny.
build up some XP. There's no arbitrary, there's no thing you're building up or anything like that. There's no meter. It's literally like you're just doing these things, and then you'll get a prompt that says a telephone's ringing somewhere, and then you gotta go find a telephone. But it's the 1930s, so telephones are very sparse.
Yeah.
So I've learned that really the only places that have telephones other than your safe houses are hotels.
That makes sense, yeah.
And
there's not even like pay phones outside.
Yeah, but it's a 2006 open world game, so there's not a lot of that either.
True.
There's safe houses everywhere, but like I was still pretty early in the game, so like I didn't have money for any safe houses.
Right.
Safe houses are also the only places that you can save. And you save by like going to bed, like old Grand Theft Auto style.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm not sure if I saved after the last episode, or so I might have lost an hour of progress. We'll see if it auto saves as well. I'm not sure. I've hard saved at the end of every single run since I started playing, but the physics are really weird in that game. Like the car just is the game's super heavy. Like when you play as your third person character shooting shit, and like your punches that I talked about a while ago, where like you lock on and then you use the analog stick as your punches. So you do a right hook with a right swing, and then a left hook with a left on the analog. But the cars are like made out of oil. Everything's made out of oil when you're driving. So the physics on the car is just all over the place when you're driving and stuff like that. But you can't turn for shit. So like when people slam into you, you'll like start like sliding hardcore and stuff like that, but it takes forever to turn in these cars. Because these cars are from the 1930s and they don't have proper turning.
They barely have any grip on their tires or anything. Right.
It's very strange. I can't wait to play through the rest of it to see where that goes. Even if it doesn't get a lot of views or anything, it's still, I want that done.
Right.
So I can get on with my life, because I want to know if my memory of how that game ends is what I think. But like, I've seen the Godfather movie, but it was 15 years ago with TV commercials in between, because every Thanksgiving on TBS they show The Godfather or something like that. Other than that, I don't have like an affinity for The Godfather, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, me neither. I've never seen it.
Yeah. I don't know what else I'll be playing besides that. I've been watching a lot of people play Alan Wake 2, because the first few hours I just keep watching different people play. Like the first couple of hours, that's such a cool game. Yeah, that's really it for my video game story. You've been playing Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I've just been playing Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. How's that going? How's Birth by Sleep? You said you were going to start it last time.
It's not terrible. It's pretty fun. You get to choose 3 different people. There's like 3 different characters, which is cool.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the main one the whole time.
Yeah, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I mean, I'm still on the first one out of the 3, so I imagine each campaign is the same length of some sort. I mean, granted, I'm spending a lot of time playing like the level up. They have like a mini game, board game thing where you level up your.
Does it give you the
stuff.
option to select which character?
At the beginning, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. And
so
that's like
who did
so.
You start with?
There's like a tutorial at the beginning where you get to practice like fighting and stuff.
Right.
And they let you practice as all 3 people. You know, you start as Ventus, then you switch over to Terra, and it shows you like a different move set, and then you switch over to Aqua. So at the time, I was under the impression that the people that you're fighting as, like, oh, if you're Terra, this is how you're gonna have to fight, and if you're Aqua, this is how you're gonna fight. But then, so like Aqua had my favorite example, so I was like, I'll choose her like second or last or whatever.
Yeah.
I chose Ventus, but then come to find out you can fight however you want with everybody. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, so it really didn't matter, I guess, as far as like I'm still gonna get this, each of their stories and stuff.
Right.
Maybe there's some differences that it makes, but I mean, I guess I'll find out. I haven't, like I said, I'm still in the first character. I chose Ventus first.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's been fun. It's fun, but like the worlds overall feel kind of flat, which has kind of been my biggest gripe.
They're a lot smaller.
They're like smaller, and they don't have there's like no depth.
Yeah.
To them, so they kind of feel, and like the first 3, I mean, what was it? Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty, like, who cares about these early princess? Like, I get it. You got to have the classics in there or whatever. But, and you got to explain the princesses and all that stuff.
Right.
But I'm just like, I don't know. But then it does you do swing over and get, like, Stitch, which is kind of cool. But even, like, the Stitch world wasn't, like, super exhilarating. I was like, yeah, right. I was just like, okay.
Right. So this game was on the PSP first. It was a PSP game in like 2007, I want to say.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
But it's canon, of course, because it's Kingdom Hearts. I believe in the timeline it takes place well before any of the first game.
Right, yeah, it's supposed to be like a prequel.
Right, so like a lot of the Sleeping Beauty and all of that stuff is like pre the 7 princesses and the hearts and stuff like that. Yeah, that's interesting. I think I chose Ventus the first time around. I've played this game back when it came out in whenever 2007, 2008 on my PSP, and it was a lot different of a game back then.
Right.
It was fucking mind-blowing back then on a handheld console.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Playing that Kingdom Hearts. And for a Kingdom Hearts game, like, it's definitely, other than 2, like, what I remember, Birth by Sleep was my favorite one.
It's fun, especially because you can, like, create, more moves and stuff. I like the whole elemental thing added to it, where, like, your moves can be certain things, so you can really have like 3 different presets, so you can have like custom builds or whatever, depending on the situation, which I really like that.
Loadouts and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did they keep that in any of the third one? Because like this one ties into the third one the most.
I don't remember.
There's so much Aqua in 3 that this game is like, if you're going to play 1 and 2 are definite must plays before 3, but out of all of the side ones, is definitely Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Just because it's like Yakuza 0 to the rest of the Yakuza series kind of thing. It's really the foundation, even though it came out so much after. There's a lot there to build from.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine 4 is going to tie in a lot more with that, where they ended off with 3 and Aqua's story and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting that you're playing this so long after it came out and not having... you haven't played... Did you play through 2 or...
Yeah, I beat 1. I'm pretty sure I beat 2.
Yeah.
And then I played some of the others, like a little bit of each other one. I don't think I beat any of the other ones, but
Yeah.
I think the closest other one I got to beating was the one on the DS, the 365 over 2 or whatever.
Oh, right. Which, on the copy I let you borrow is like
just the
it's all a
cutscenes.
movie.
Yeah. Which I'm gonna sit down and watch. I'll probably just play in the background or whatever, just to kind of catch up on. But
no clue how long that is. It's an easy platinum because it's a platinum trophy for just watching it all.
Oh wow, well that's good.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
But
I need to make my own.
Remember how long that is?
PS account.
It's a Kingdom Hearts game, so that could be 3 hours of cutscene or it could be 40 hours of cutscene, and I don't know. I don't know where it falls.
I mean, I'm sure it'll tell you if you load it up.
I don't think so, man. I think it tells you in chapters.
It doesn't have like a... Oh, I was going to say it doesn't have like a little bar at the bottom.
Oh, maybe like, once you actually hit play and stuff, yeah.
But if it's still broken up into chapters, you might not know until...
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, you know, like I said, I'll play in the background until I finish it. And
I forget how many
the first half I've seen for sure because I played it, but...
I remember it being like 98 chapters long or something. Right. But the first one's broken up to like chapter 1 through 19 or something like that. So it's like, I think 4 different acts or whatever.
Word. As long as there's some like smooth transitions. I don't want it to be like just a bunch of awkward black screens every 20 seconds or whatever.
I have no clue. I have no clue. My memory is playing that game as well. Like,
yeah.
I've never watched the movie thing. I plan on doing it for the channel because I need to finish 1 on the channel.
Yeah.
Because we did 3, and then eventually I want to circle back to the 3 DLC before 4 comes out. But yeah, I have no clue how those play out. It'll be interesting to hear that, and then I'll eventually also be watching it. There's a couple of things I want to watch. Maybe we can do like a viewing party of it or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's a making of Shenmue documentary for Shenmue 2.
Oh wow.
That I have that's like a duo disc copy of the Xbox version of Shenmue 2. I have no clue what's on that DVD, but it's a rarer copy than Shenmue 2 without the DVD, so
That's true.
Why not play the DVD to see what's on it? I don't do modern consoles play DVDs anymore?
I think so.
You might have to download an app, but probably I'd imagine so, right? Everything's Blu-ray though. I have the PS3. The PS3 will definitely, and the 360 will play.
And your laptop.
DVDs. My laptop doesn't have a disc drive.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Mac. Macs don't have disc drive. Psh.
Oh right.
Discs.
That's
No,
right.
I wish.
You have to pay extra for a disc drive.
That's how the PlayStation's doing that too.
I know.
You have to pay extra for that disc drive. Yeah, so I guess that's all. That's all you've been playing, right? Is Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, that's it. Just that. Just
Yeah.
playing that, and I'm gonna go back to Liza P tonight. Probably tomorrow. Today or tomorrow. I mean, I'm off the next couple of days, so probably.
Hell yeah.
Switch back over to that and.
No show tonight? You had a show last night.
I have a show tonight and I have a show Saturday, so.
Hell yeah. I should jump on that Liza P train too.
Yeah.
Once I get bills paid, get Game Pass. Or you could donate to the channel and pay the Game Pass budget so we could play more Game Pass games, because that's a subscription that I should jump on before it
PlayStation
gets way too expensive.
Subscriptions getting more expensive. So.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, there's no way. I wanted that for the retro games. You know, like me being such a giant retro collector. But yeah, that's insane. They're raising it like $40 across the board.
Right. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. It's not even. Yeah. Maybe if they included like a movie streaming service too or something. Like, give me something a little more. I just feel like $40 extra is such a huge leap for.
I guess that's a little news that Crunchyroll, with their subscription, they're gonna start doing games, and they gave out a list of games that they'll be including into the Crunchyroll game service, like Netflix has started doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it'll be, as far as of right now, looks like mobile is the only way, but it's like River City Girls and a whole bunch of classic anime games and stuff.
That's still cool though.
Yeah, I'd imagine like you'd get some Bandai Namco games start coming there and stuff like that. That's really all of the side news that I could think of. The World of Warcraft news is an expansion and mobile games and stuff like that. I guess the big one is, it's not even news, it's the news of news. In a tweet, Rockstar put out, it's our 25th anniversary next month. To celebrate our 25th anniversary at the beginning of December, we will be releasing a trailer for GTA 6.
No, that's cool.
I don't know what. And that was a tweet straight from Sam Hauser. And one of the Hauser brothers took the corporate account. The other instance of news, so I guess there was a couple of things. This is another tweet, is that Miyamoto took the corporate Nintendo of Japan account to announce that there's going to be a live-action Legend of Zelda movie next year. And that Sony Entertainment will be producing it.
That's either really cool or really terrifying.
I don't know.
Video game movies are not.
I'm not a big film buff. I have a film degree, but I'm not a huge film buff anymore.
I mean, I guess unless if it's made by the same people that made Mario, and I mean they did it pretty well.
No, it's live action.
Oh, that's right, you said that.
So it's not
so
Illumination.
It'll be more like.
It will be. Here, I'll look it up real quick.
I can't even. What is it going to be, like One Piece? That's doing all right.
Yeah, that's doing all right.
And that's in a similar like realm of, characters. They have similar like.
Right. Here, I brought up an article from The Verge. It's from Andrew Webster. Nintendo's foray into the movies isn't stopping anytime soon. The company has confirmed that it's working on a live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. The movie will be directed by Wes Ball, but best known for the Maze Runner trilogy and the upcoming Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He's best known for the upcoming movie Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
The one we don't even know is good yet.
Right, he didn't direct the other ones. Yeah, he didn't do the other ones, but he's doing this new one. Creator Shigeru Miyamoto will serve as producer. He'll be producing alongside Avi Arad, which I guess people don't like his movies, is what people said. At least on Giant Bomb, they were like, "Oh, his movies suck." And I was like, I don't pay attention to most movies because most movies suck. But that's just a me opinion. This is the tweet. This is Miyamoto. I have been working on a live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with Avi Arad's son, who has produced many mega-hit films. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you will look forward to seeing it. And then, while there aren't many details on the movie itself, Nintendo says that it will be co-financed by itself and Sony, with Nintendo footing more than 50% of the bill. The announcement comes at a pivotal time for Nintendo as the company has made its ambitions to become a broader entertainment company clear, that includes not only the Super Mario movie, but also a line of theme park attractions, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I mean, we don't need a Legend of Zelda movie.
No. But it's cool.
Especially because they have Breath of the Wild and the other one, they're so good and so open and so, like...
I haven't even touched Tears of the Kingdom yet.
Yeah, that's the other one, Tears of the Kingdom. But they're already, like, they haven't peaked, but that's like their peak right now. And this, I don't feel like a movie's gonna make Legend of Zelda better.
No.
Like, they found a way to make it better, and they've capitalized on that. They shouldn't. They're taking like 4 steps back with a movie. Like,
right. Yeah, I don't think that they're trying to make it better. I think they're trying to reach out more.
They're just expanding the universe, or whatever, which I get, but like,
there'll probably be a Zelda thing in the theme parks.
I feel like there should have been a movie before.
They've been trying to do a Zelda movie for a while now.
Yeah.
Like even in that Miyamoto tweet, says they've been working on it for many years.
Yeah.
Like I remember a long time ago hearing Legend of Zelda live action, but like Zelda had a cartoon.
Yeah.
And then they did those horrible Zelda Philips EDI games that were like a cartoon.
Right.
But it's really hard because Link, like Mario, is a silent protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't up until recently where the world also started talking around him as well, like Zelda and everybody else is voice acted now.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case up until Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the cartoons, of course, Zelda's like a little twink elf boy.
Right.
It's like if the Keebler elf was 50 years younger or something like that, you know? I do wonder... I don't wonder why, because the Mario movie made like $1 billion.
Yeah, right, for sure.
It's an insane amount of money, and it's just marketing. And also, Tears of the Kingdom has been out. Nintendo did put a financial report out recently. We're about to talk about Circana anyways, but Nintendo financial report said that Breath of the Wild has sold 19 point something million units, and it hasn't even been out a year yet.
Wow. So that's what I mean. We don't need a movie.
Right, but also we need a movie because it's a 19 point something million unit seller.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And that's, other than Breath of the Wild, the first one, out of this new line of Zelda games, there's no Zelda that's even close to that.
Right.
Like, it's not like Pokemon where every Pokemon's a 20 million unit seller or 10 million unit seller. It's that was unheard of for Zelda. Right. Zelda was like maybe 8 million on a good Zelda, and then like most of the Zeldas were like 2 million up until these last couple. Yeah, and I don't know what the idea would be to continue on with that, though. Like, what do you do from there? Like, the live-action Zelda movie's out. We know we're getting a sequel to the Mario movie. Like, there's no way we're not. They had a post-credit scene. Like, it did over $1 billion. I'd imagine this movie would probably do close to $1 billion, if not $1 billion. But
yeah,
what that means for the next one? Like, where do you do another movie where you fight Ganon? I don't know. That seems weird. Do you just keep fighting Ganon in every movie? Because that works for a video game, but that doesn't work for a movie. Mario is... I mean, you can fight Bowser in 50 different settings, but there's also Donkey Kong was a villain, and, like... I forgot who's the villain of this Oh, it's Bowser turned himself into a giant castle. Rather than it being Bowser's castle, he just turned himself into the castle in the new one. So you can do some weird stuff with Mario like that, but all of Zelda, Zelda's has the timeline shit too. Like, is it Wind Waker Zelda we're doing? Are we doing Ocarina Zelda?
That's
Are
true.
we doing Breath of the Wild Zelda?
Yeah, you could do Toon Link.
Yeah. If Wind Waker Zelda would be sick.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a live action, so like, are you just gonna have a 10-year-old kid play Zelda or play Link?
Maybe they'll do like
and Zelda
a Spider-Verse thing, but with Zelda.
I mean, that's kind of like how Zelda works, except they don't all meet up together.
Yeah, but maybe they'll do something
right
where they can, because that's like one way I guess you could expand upon it, is like you're able to take these different Zeldas and
they're just different timelines and stuff. They never connect, but Link is the hero of time, so he's all over the place. Sometimes he's 12, sometimes he's 16, sometimes he's like 22, I think. I think in the modern ones he's like 16. But yeah, there was always young Link and adult Link and Toon Link, and I don't think they make a difference in the new ones because there's not the aging aspect in that one. But Ocarina, that's a huge part of it. I'd imagine it'll be an Ocarina movie though. That's the one that people.
That's the known by all.
Yeah, the one that would probably make the best movie is something like probably Twilight Princess. Or I would like to see something like Spirit Tracks or one of the ones that aren't as beloved. I mean, every Zelda, they're all great, but Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, I think, are the two that people aren't the biggest fans of.
Yeah.
And those are both Toon Link games as well for the DS. That would be interesting to see as a live action thing, because that's all like Spirit Tracks is all like ghosts and paranormal and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're gonna translate like puzzles.
Right, in dungeons.
Because that's such a big part of it. Like, how do you make it like?
Right. How do you make a fire dungeon and a water dungeon make sense? And then how do you make the temple how the water temple and the fire temple and stuff? But then, how do you make the puzzles and the temples make sense? Like, in Ocarina of Time, you have, like, swimming through, like, tubes and shit like that for the water temple. It's like, how do you make a movie? You know,
it'd be like a montage or something.
Yeah, you just, like, Link flinging through tubes.
Flinging, yeah.
As a fish person.
Just solving things.
Or no, I guess that's Majora's Mask, because you have to put on the Zoa mask to turn yourself into a fish person to do the water temple to fly through the tubes.
That would be another interesting one they could do, the masks.
Majora's Mask would be sick. I
feel like they're probably going to choose a more mainstream one.
Right.
To try to be more, with the general audience.
And probably the one that they need the least amount of budget for. Like, I'd imagine, not to say that this isn't going to be a big budget movie, but I don't imagine they're going to dump like $300 million right off the bat into the Zelda movie. Yeah. Like, I doubt they're going for Lord of the Rings with this shit, but that would be crazy.
I mean, who knows? They made such a profit off of the Mario movie, they could have just split that in half.
Right. But Sony doesn't have that. I mean, it did say Nintendo's footing like over 50% of the bill, but Sony doesn't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
Like, PlayStation's doing very well, but Sony PlayStation and Sony Media might as well be two different companies.
Yeah.
Kind of like how EA just split itself into two different companies. Yeah. I was gonna try to transition to the Circana thing. I don't have a smooth transition anymore.
Okay.
But Zelda will be cool. We'll talk about Circana in a second. This isn't layoffs, one person got laid off. But I think this is a good story. This is a bad story, but it's a good story. Like, it's good-hearted, I think. Zero Punctuation ends as the escapist faces mass resignations after the EIC firing. The Escapist, do you know who Zero Punctuation is? The Escapist and all those stuff? Have you ever seen those videos before?
I don't think so.
Zero Punctuation is a reviewer who is, I think he's Irish or something. But he just talks really fast, and they're like very segmented videos. If you ever seen that character before?
No. Maybe.
That's, there are like 2-minute animated videos of like video game reviews, and he's done them for decades and stuff.
Oh, weird.
And The Escapist is another video games news outlet that makes like smaller, like very specifically YouTube video content. Not like how I watch like Min-Max or Giant Bomb or Kind of Funny, where it's like just dudes talking
right.
on talk shows and stuff. The Escapist makes like edited, old, kind of like source-fed style content. But they've been doing it for a long time, for as long as I can remember, on YouTube. And the one of them got fired unfairly, and it looks like everybody is quitting because of it, and they're all just gonna join that person who got fired unfairly to create something new.
Wow.
Which is cool, because I'm not an Escapist fan, but like I know how I felt when Vinny and Alex and Brad all left Giant Bomb after being there for so long. You know, like you get attached to people being a part of your daily routine and stuff for so long. And with those dudes, it was like well over a decade by the point that when they leave and don't announce anything new, you're like, well, fuck.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then I remember the day when they did finally announce Nextlander, their next thing. And it was like, holy shit, they're going to continue on doing their thing. Everything's going to be okay. Same thing with like Jeff Gerstmann when he left Giant Bomb. A lot of my gaming life is related to Giant Bomb. They've been a part of my life for a very long time. And then, but yeah, and he was, as soon as he left Giant Bomb, he started doing his own thing. And it's always nice to know that these people have something else that they plan on doing. You know, like people, it sucks that the daily routine is broken and that thing is gone, but like, this seems like it's for a good cause, you know? Like, another thing recently happened is that ex-Kotaku people that all left after the Deadspin shit, was it Deadspin? One of the sporting writer outlets, as a part of Kotaku, got laid off, and then a whole bunch of people, like, quit after. A bunch of Kotaku people, it's like 5 or 6 of them, got together, and they're starting a new site called Aftermath.
Oh, weird.
And it'll basically be Kotaku, but it'll all be, what is it called? Viewer patroned, but writer owned is what they're pitching.
Right.
It's like, yeah, where no company is not gonna come and buy us out, you know, like, I mean, it's not a Patreon funded thing. It's they have a subscription service, and you pay however much you want out of their thing. I think their lowest, you can read for free, but their lowest tier is like $7 or whatever like that for like their start getting exclusive articles and stuff like that. And I think their highest tier is $100, and they could be on like business meetings or whatever. Just Patreon shit, but without it being tied into the back end of Patreon.
Right.
So it's always cool to see people doing the next thing, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
as well as like just Remap is another one with the Waypoint people from Vice getting laid off, and then they were like, I don't know,
Gotta do something.
we gotta do something.
Yeah.
So they made Remap, and then with all of that happened, they like somehow got all their Waypoint subscribers transferred into Remap, so they were able to keep all of the subscriptions going.
That's
they didn't
cool.
get any of the money that went along with it, but
Right.
people still get to continue on getting their shit. And then it came out like that it was an accident, that all of Waypoint got fired.
Oh no, that's crazy.
And
what an
like,
accident!
Well, fuck you. Yeah, what an accident. The company just
Oops.
accidentally lays you off. Because I mean, when you're part of Vice, right, and you have executives looking at spreadsheets, they don't see what your worth is, right? They don't see. They just see.
They just see the numbers.
Right. They see we have 4 people in the games division, and the games division costs this much. They're not saying how much it's bringing in or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Or if it is, they see how much it's bringing in, but maybe that number isn't climbing fast enough, because, I mean, with something like Waypoint, a lot of that viewership is... There's not a lot of new viewership for Waypoint, unless if it's, like, a big, like, juicy article, because, I mean, they do regular video games reporting, but they'll do, like, the Jason Schreier, like, actual journalism sleuthing kind of shit, where you're like digging into stories and like figuring out like horrible development culture and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that they report on. So like then you got to start worrying about like, oh, we gotta hire lawyers for these writers, because they're writing about some gnarly shit that's going down, and like people might try to sue and stuff, and that's always the case, you know. Or like, I mean, companies try to sue over video game leaks and stuff like that. Like, people reporting on video game leaks is not illegal. Leaking a video game is illegal.
Right.
But
once it's been leaked, you're allowed to talk about it.
Right.
It's too late.
Right. But there's been countless incidents of, I mean, getting a cease and desist to take down certain content that is leaked, I understand, but, I mean, back in the day, Nintendo would fucking send the lawyers knocking, you know, they still love flashing lawyers.
Yeah.
They love suing people.
It's more money.
Bethesda as well. Bethesda, I mean, Pete Hines left, but Pete Hines was famous to hold a grudge, and I mean, when the Fallout 4 leaks happened, I'm sure they would have loved to sue Jason Schreier and Kotaku at that point. I don't know what happened, but they ended up getting blacklisted in the end, so,
wow.
You know, it's always strange. Always strange. I mean, the Zelda thing, I'm surprised that didn't leak.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
But maybe that's why they put it out. Maybe that's why they tweeted about it. Because, like, the movie world is so different with that shit. Like, movies get announced years in advance. Like, we start finding out about movies when, like, 2 directors whisper a couple words to each other.
Yeah, as soon as the script is signed, they're like, all right, we're making this movie, you guys.
Yeah, it's not even written. It's just like, we want to write this movie, so we're gonna start writing it, everyone.
Someone just makes a movie poster, and they're like, all right, we're going to make that movie.
Yeah, it's
official.
So strange. I mean, we have, like, we know the next 6 years of Marvel movies or whatever, but, like...
Supposedly,
Yeah, it's always strange. Speaking of years, I guess that's a good transfer over. Let's bring up the Sir Connor report. Let's talk about this so we can get out of the way.
I want like a Sir Connor report.
Oh, like a ticker thing?
Yeah. Like when we do it, we should get like a Sir Connor report or something, you know.
Yeah. Well, when I look, I try to look for people like already summarizing it, because whenever I look at the actual Sir Connor report and try to think about how I'm gonna scroll through it for the podcast, it's like, this is a lot of just numbers that I'm going to throw out, so it's a lot easier to find somebody else who wrote some words down.
Oh, maybe we could. We can just have it, like, scroll at the bottom of the screen while we read it.
That would be funny.
All the numbers and shit. Because, yeah, it is a lot.
If it updated with, like, sales in general, just of, like, the top 10 games, that'd be funny. But video game analyst group Circana has released its September 2023 U.S. video game market highlights. And in it, the company reveals that developer Bethesda game studio Starfield was the best-selling game last month, which is the month it launched. After just 6 weeks on the market, Starfield is already the 7th best-selling game of the year. February's Hogwarts Legacy remains in the top spot. Starfield hit Xbox and PC on September 6th, and while its Xbox Game Pass release surely helped it become the biggest launch for a Bethesda game with more than 6 million players. Circana's data tracked dollar sales. This means Starfield was the best-selling game of September despite Xbox Game Pass. Because Xbox Game Pass doesn't count dollar sales for individual games. It's a subscription. There's no way that they could monitor that. Yeah. They could be like, oh, Starfield released and we got X amount of subscribers when it released.
Yeah, so we can measure it that way. The downloads. So
well, they probably know downloads. They probably tracked the actual downloads, but that's not. I mean, that's actually how they pay out those developers.
Oh, right.
Like they'll pay them. They'll pay them a straight up like subscription thing, but I think it's even so much as time played. Which is why a whole bunch of companies will dump RPGs and stuff on a Game Pass. So like, you play 20 hours of one game. I mean, you're not. Game Pass doesn't care if you play one game for the whole month of subscription or if you play 30 games, but a developer cares if you spend the majority of that month on the
right. Yeah, that's why there's a lot of puzzle games and stuff on there too, because it takes a lot of time.
Right, or it's puzzles that you could redo and get better times at and stuff.
That and because you could just download the game and then that's it.
Right.
And anyone could do that. Whereas at least like time played, that means someone actually dedicated. You couldn't cheat the system as much.
Right. So they do track time played, but they also tracked the amount of players downloading across Xbox and PC. And then they just regular subscribers as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just subscribers in general. They track.
But yeah, there's no way to include that in the overall this thing,
They pay people out. I mean, they pay like a fee starting out. They'll be like, okay, we'll give Square Enix $1 billion, and they're gonna put all of the Final Fantasies and Kingdom Hearts and a bunch of their stuff day in first day, and that's great. But then from there, they're like, well, what do we pay them? From that is from the amount of downloads, and then from there, how much time those players have played on those games. Yeah. From what I understand, I don't know if it's still like that, but from what I understood about how the old layout was, I'm not making games for Game Pass, so I don't know how the back end works anymore. But there's been a lot of restructuring, I would imagine, with like all of the acquisitions and stuff like that, how that all works. But who knows? It's weird because Game Pass is doing very well.
Yeah.
But on the other side of like paying developers for free games or whatever is Epic Games Store. They don't have a subscription, but they're paying developers ass loads of money just for free games. And then they're like, the Epic Games Store isn't profitable. It's like, no shit, you're paying billions of dollars for all of these free games that you're just giving out, and it's not helping, and you've said it's not helping for months. On the other hand, you have Game Pass where people pay $10 a month or $17, I think, for Ultimate.
Yeah.
And it's doing extremely well. And it doesn't matter if they have 4 games or if they have 1,000 games on there, it's doing extremely well.
Yeah.
Game Pass is doing very well. But apparently, so is Starfield. The other big September releases It's more fun if I have you guess. So we'll do that. Here are the top 10 best-selling games of September 2023. We know Starfield's number 1. What also came out in September?
What came out in September? Oh man, I was just gonna say that Baldur's Gate game. That
Baldur's Gate is not on the list because Larian is not part of the Circana.
Oh man, I feel like that
study.
would be up there
So
though.
Baldur's Gate would be up there, but despite Baldur's Gate, it would not be. It's not.
There's definitely a sports game.
There is a sports game. One new sports game came out, or 2 new sports games are on. I guess 3 if you count a racing game. There's 2 sports games and a racing game on there.
That FIFA game, not FIFA. It's FIFA, but.
Yep. It's called something else now. I doubt you're gonna get it.
Oh right, it's like. Just a generic sports name now,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like
it's EA Sports Football
EA
Club.
Sports. Yeah. I thought it was just EA
now.
Sports.
I think Football Club, the FC, is a European football league.
Oh, okay.
But EA Sports FC Football Club 24
Nice.
is number 3.
All right.
So number 2 is also a new release.
Is it also sports?
No,
Okay.
it's a fighting game though. I'll say that.
Oh.
That makes it real easy. It's new and it's a fighting game.
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 4 is a sports game. It came out last month.
Is it the hockey game?
Madden. Hockey is
football?
almost never on the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought hockey was pretty popular.
no.
To be honest. No?
No, hockey is popular in like 20% of our country. And that's it.
That's true.
Of our country and Canada. I guess 20% of our continent
Yeah.
likes hockey, and that's about it. Number 5 is a new release, although it's getting really poorly reviewed because of server issues and stuff. It sold extremely well. It's the 3rd one in the series.
Were you just talking about this game?
I guess just talking about it is relative. Like 3 weeks ago when it
Yesterday.
came out. No.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. You talked about it when it was having server issues and stuff. I would imagine those are fixed now. I don't know. I'm not a fan. It's a multiplayer game. It's a first-person shooter.
I feel like I know what it is, and I'm just like...
You do know what it is, because it's the 3rd one. It's just like the 2nd one, too. That's a huge complaint about it.
Oh my gosh.
If I told you clowns are involved, would that help?
For some reason, no. You think it would? For some reason, I almost said Tony Hawk. That's not a shooting game. I don't know why.
No, this is a first-person shooter.
I can't.
Go into buildings and take things.
It's not Payday.
It's Payday 3.
Oh, really? Is it? Okay.
Payday 3 came out last month. Or this is September.
Oh, that's right. Payday 3.
So 2 months ago. Number 6 is a sports game. It's the other popular sports game that's not football.
That's the racing game?
No. 7 is a racing game. 7's
Oh, is it baseball? Or UFC?
No.
Oh. What else is popular besides football and... Oh, basketball?
Basketball.
Oh,
NBA
that's right.
2K24.
Yeah. That's right. It is about that time they come out, huh?
Yeah.
Fall.
Yeah. Madden's August every year, and I believe FIFA and NBA are September every year. Golf is like way early in the year. Golf's like February. I think hockey as well. But at Tiger Woods, I think the PGA Pro Tour did do very well this year. But hockey is never on the list. Hockey does not sell well, even though they keep making it.
Yeah.
They keep making it for those hockey people, and that's it. There's no like outside reach of hockey.
They really push it on the On the game store, though.
Yeah, they really want you to play it,
They
but
really
nobody's
push
playing
it. That's
it.
probably why I thought it was so popular, because like I see that game all the time. But
Yeah.
it's just because it's always like on the front page of the
Right.
EA Sports Store or whatever. Like, please play our hockey game.
Right.
I had a hockey game when I was a kid, but I would only play it because you could occasionally get them to fight each other.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I was like, I don't know how to do it on purpose, but I would do everything I could to make them. I wish that was like a separate mode, just like ice rink fighting. That'd be great.
A bunch of the old NHL games, you were able to like get in fights and stuff, and they took that out. But like, yeah, you'd be able to get like NHL 99 or 98 or something like that. You'd be able to like
I can't remember which one
take
I had
off
exactly.
your
It
gloves
was a
and get into
PlayStation 1,
fights.
PS1 game.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
I played a lot of hockey
My
games.
parents
back
weren't
then.
aware of that either, which is very funny. They got me
Really?
a sports game. They're like, oh, you know, sports. They got me like a handful of different sports games, but I always played that one because you could fight, and that was like an option too. You could toggle it off, but I always toggle it back on. Like, no, I'm gonna brawl.
My parents never cared about violence in games. They were weird about rated M games for a while, but it was, I think, after Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, and my best friend got it, and I didn't. So I would just be playing at his house anyways.
Right.
It was like, well, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, it
We
was kind of
can't
similar.
We can't police monitor this. The TV was the one thing my parents were worried about. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch South Park as a kid until much later.
Same, yeah.
And then I had a TV in my room, and then had Adult Swim on, and then I started watching Adult Swim all the time, and then after that, my parents were like, we don't care. It's not changing your personality, so we don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah. Once I had access to like the internet and stuff, my family was like, all right, we can't really stop them from watching anything. So
Yeah.
but video
when I had
games
the
were the
internet.
opposite, because they were like, we can control what we buy for them, so we're
Right.
only gonna get them like sports games and a Bug Life.
Right, that was the
And a
one
Bug's
thing.
Life and stuff.
I had to if I wanted a rated M game, I had to make sure that my mom was already in the store with me, because my mom wasn't about to go into the store just to give her ID. So I would go trade in games, get store credit and stuff like that, and then we'd go, the local games store for us was the Hollywood Video like side store that they had for their video games that was
Right.
all behind like a chain link fence or whatever inside the store. So I would buy my rated M games on like Friday nights or whatever when we go in as a family and get movies.
Yep.
I would always go to the game side, and you could either rent games or buy games like GameStop, and I would always buy my games at that point, because I mean, I was also a 13-year-old boy at one point, so all I wanted was rated M games.
For sure, yeah. No,
I was like, rated
absolutely.
teen, that garbage. Fuck that shit. You mean I can't hear the word fuck?
Right.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my parents weren't ever like super hardcore about that stuff, but I get it. I mean, some kids can't handle it.
Right.
I understand. So let's finish out the year. So number 7 is a racing game.
Was it the Forza game?
No, actually, that'll probably be October. That's October. This is September. It is a ripoff of. People are saying it's just straight up aping Forza Horizon.
Or was it that Lego game?
No.
I never played
Lego
that game.
2K
You know how
Drive.
so hype I was about that game?
was-
Haven't touched it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't even know where to find it, honestly. I haven't even
Super
looked it
cheap
up.
now, used like game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Game Exchange had it for like $20.
Yeah,
used.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking play this game.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about it until just now. That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, it seemed like so promising of like they were gonna do all these like Lego expansions and
It
stuff.
looked like it was gonna be dope.
I haven't heard
and
shit
I haven't
about
heard
it.
a single, not a single.
It came
peep.
out this year too.
Yeah, no, I remember when we reviewed it. I was like, yes.
The new Hot Wheels one just came out though.
Yeah.
The Hot Wheels Super Turbocharged or whatever, the second one.
Yeah.
People are really hyped on
I've
that.
heard people like that one, yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that
dope.
first one's real cool, and it has a giant track builder in it, and of course
Oh,
that's so
yeah.
much fun. You're
Of
just building
course.
Hot Wheels tracks.
Just in the middle of a bedroom and shit.
Yeah, dude. There's a bedroom, there's a basement, there's
that's
like
sick.
a whole bunch of different places where
Just
you can build
every
these
room
tracks.
in the house. That's what it should
Yeah.
just be like one giant house and you could make a track throughout the whole thing.
They might have that.
That would be like sick as fuck. And then it'd be even cooler if like real time NPCs were just walking around while you're driving, you know, like stepping over your shit. Like,
I don't know if
so
in the
cool.
track builder for sure if you can go from room to room, but there are tracks like in the main campaign that do go from room to room.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah.
So I don't see why you couldn't track build like that. Maybe it's just so much to load.
It would just be cool. It would be more of like an open world concept.
Yeah,
you know, like you would have like
Yeah.
But
And that's what I thought the Lego thing would be, but the Lego
I literally thought it was just going to be the Forza Horizons, but Lego. Like just open world.
I thought it was going to be more Lego, though, but it's like Forza Horizon with Lego things scattered around it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or like the world is real, but everything in the world is Lego.
No, I thought it was going to be like...
Which is like how the Lego games are, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, but... Yeah, I thought it was going to be more Lego. Like, they have old Lego racing games and stuff where the whole world is Lego.
Right.
And you can put tracks everywhere and stuff. There's probably a track builder in that as well, but
I would imagine so, because you can because it's a whole car building thing.
Right,
That's
they have the car builder. Maybe because we watched the whole building explanation thing, so maybe they did talk about it then. That was so long ago when they did originally show that off. That leaked as well, if I remember correctly. No, you're probably not gonna get this, but it's the Crew Motorfest.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Number 8 is from August. Still on there. Hanging in strong. It's my favorite studio of all time. They put out a game in August. Talked about it a lot. Do you know? Liza P is inspired by this studio. Let's say.
It's
not inspired by this game, but inspired by From Software, who put this game out.
It's not the Alan Wake game.
No, that's Remedy.
Oh.
No. Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon.
You know, I never think of that game.
Yeah, I know, right? It's because
Armored Core.
If they just called it Armored Core, I'm sure it'd be
a lot catchier,
more remember, but it's straight up Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon. Number 9, we talked about, it's been on the list the longest. It's the best-selling game of the year. It's Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, right. Yeah, crazy. And they're putting out more DLC, too.
Yeah. Well, they also, mid-year, they did, like, the next-gen release of it, and then at the halfway point, they did Xbox One, PlayStation 4 release of it.
Oh, word.
I think it's supposed to still be coming to Switch as well.
That would be weird.
It was announced for Switch.
They have to, like, dumb it down.
Yeah, Oh, yeah. Or it's going to be a cloud game, which is how they do, like, Resident Evil and stuff like that.
Word.
Number 10 is last year's Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Wow.
That's for September, of course, so the new one's wasn't out yet, and the new one just came out this week. We could have talked about that. People aren't hot on it.
Yeah.
People don't like it that much. It's getting like 4 out of 10s. Actually, the one thing that I wanted to talk about, it's not really news, it's just funny as fuck, is that I think it's the PS4 version. Maybe it's the PC version. When you download Modern Warfare 3 onto it and you try to launch it, it won't launch because it wants you to download Modern Warfare 2 to launch Modern Warfare 3 because Modern Warfare 3 originally was supposed to be DLC for Modern Warfare 2 and they were going to skip Call of Duty this year.
Wow.
And they're like, oh no, it's more than DLC. We're going to we're going to make this a full game.
Huh. And it turns out it probably should have just been DLC.
So much so that they left it as DLC in the code. And
wow.
there's something that's triggering it to because it's working on other things as Modern Warfare 3, for some reason, some people it's triggering Modern Warfare 2 to try to be downloaded.
You know, sometimes you can just, like, I feel like some video game industries feel rushed. Like, they're like, we gotta put out the next thing.
Right. Well, I mean, it was supposed to come out as DLC. Like, this was supposed to come out this...
I know, but I feel like they felt like, oh, we gotta put a real game out instead, and they just, like, pushed it.
Yeah.
I don't think... just not.
I don't think that it was we got to. I think it was, oh, we can.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
It's Activision. Yeah. So it was like, yeah, we could probably charge $70 for this.
That's true. So it's like a little... It's shittier than anything.
Right.
It's not that they were scared to. They're just like,
yeah, because they were going to skip this year anyways.
Right.
They were planning on it. They were like, yeah, this is our first year without Call of Duty. Like, we're going to put out DLC, but we're going to take a year off for the first time in, like, 20-something years.
But now this looks worse.
Yeah.
People aren't going to...
Yeah, so, like, it's getting, like, I think IGN gave it a 4 out of 10 for the campaign.
Less anticipation for the next one.
Right. But the next one, like, now Xbox and the Activision deal is done. Xbox has said they're taking a year off of Call of Duty next year.
Oh, wow.
They're going to double down on Warzone, which makes sense because Warzone is what brings in the money. I mean, Call of Duty is going to be Call of Duty. Call of Duty is still the best. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for 2022 is the 10th best-selling game of September 2023.
Right.
Like, these games will sell buku bucks no matter what.
So funny.
2 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, for August, it was Black Ops 2 for the Xbox 360 was in the top-selling 20 games because they turned all those servers back on. So
everyone just, like, rolled out of bed like, I gotta get a new copy.
And these are dollar sales. These aren't copies, like, sold. These are a dollar amount. So Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is $20 versus the majority of these games are $70.
Right.
So it's selling three times the amount to catch up. Per disc.
That's crazy.
That's not per disc too. Those are downloads.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could buy Black Ops 2 physically.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't mean like physically per disc, but just like metaphorically,
yeah. No, yeah.
3 times as many just to be even with the
with the
people
big dogs.
that are the brand new games at that too. Like, that's nuts.
It's insane. So Circana has a top 10 for the best-selling games of the year. We know one. They said at the beginning of this, it's a new release. Starfield's on that list. Starfield is number 7.
Wow.
Number 1 is, do you remember?
No.
It's Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, right. Oh, you just said it was 7. It was 7th of the month.
Yes,
but
right.
First of the
year.
Year so far. Wow.
Top 10 best-selling games of the year. Number 2.
I guess we have one more month.
Digital sales are not included in this one because it's a Nintendo game. But number 2, what do you think it is? We talked about it earlier.
Probably the new Mario.
It's the new Zelda.
Oh, the news. Oh, yeah.
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Sold 19 point something million units.
That makes sense. They were number 1 for. Or they were on the top 10 for a minute, weren't they?
Right. They were on the top 10 of the best-selling games of each month, right? But they're on the top 10 of the year still.
Word.
As number 2.
That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 3 is Madden.
Okay.
Number 4 is a Blizzard game.
Yeah.
Came out this year. Diablo 4.
Oh, right.
Number 5 is number 10 of last month of September. Number 5 best-selling game of the year is the 10
the Modern Warfare game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Modern Warfare 2.
Wow, of the year still. That's crazy.
Number 6 is a game that we talked about last podcast. I think that was last podcast. Maybe that was 2 podcasts ago.
Costume Quest?
Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Costume Quest is funny. That game's like $6 an hour or something like that.
Would
Not
be
even
amazing.
that. So number 7 after that is Starfield. Number 8 is the other new release for the month. It's the fighting game. It's Mortal Kombat 1.
Mortal Kombat, yeah. Which definitely makes sense, yeah.
Number 9 is a
Popular
remake
one.
that came out this year.
Final Fantasy?
No, that was 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, the new one ain't come out yet. Still just a demo.
Right, that's the beginning of next year, I think.
Just a demo, yeah. A remake?
A remake. And it's a sequel to that one.
Evil Dead? Oh, that's not Evil Dead. Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
I just saw Evil. I was like, yeah, Evil Dead.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
That's right.
It's number 9.
Mm.
And number 10 is baseball. And digital sales are included on that. MLB The Show, number 2023.
Wow. That's the last two, I think, kind of surprised me.
Resident Evil 4 doesn't surprise me. For
No?
the best selling of the year, I'm surprised.
Oh, yeah. I guess the year.
The
Makes sense.
Resident Evil 4 is one of the best selling games of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the remake, it being number 9, surprises me. I thought it would be higher up. But Resident Evil 4 has never been the best selling game because, of that year. It was the best selling game of that series because of time.
Yeah.
And it just being on fucking everything. They ported that. You can buy Resident Evil 4 on anything.
Yeah.
If it's a smart tablet for refrigerator or something, you can buy Resident Evil 4 for it.
So
no
funny.
shit.
Yeah.
I wonder how long I've been off screen. I've noticed I keep leaning farther.
I've been
farther
leaning
back.
kind of, yeah. I've been trying to
I should have zoomed out more. I never know how we're gonna sit until.
Sometimes I feel a little. Today I'm just so. It's the weather. I'm just so because it's raining but also cold. So I'm just
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah, I felt pretty gross today too, but yeah, I woke up and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta pay bills." So I paid my car bill, and that's how I woke up. Is there anything else I can take away from this? Oh, by the way, this was from Game Informer. I didn't say that at the top. This is from Wesley LeBlanc from Game Informer. Thank you so much for doing all of this work of summarizing all this. Piscatella says Mortal Kombat 1 was the best-selling game of September on PlayStation platforms, placing in second on Xbox and PC, which is where Starfield came in first. Mortal Kombat 1 ranked third on Switch, even with the game's disastrous launch date on the platform. Elsewhere in Circana's report, U.S. spending on video game content, hardware, and accessories grew by 10% from a year ago, for a total of $4.5 billion. Piscatella says growth in spending on content and accessories has an offset of 8% decline in hardware. Year to date, U.S. spending on video game products is up 2% and $3.94 billion. He also notes that the growth in digital premium download spending across consoles and PC drove most of September 2023 spending gains. Despite Starfield's clear September success, the PlayStation 5 remained the best-selling hardware platform in both unit and dollar sales. Xbox Series X and S ranked the second in both measures. The PS5 also continues to lead 2023 hardware sales in both unit and dollar sales, according to Piscatella. And year-to-date hardware spending is up 10% compared to this time last year, which is because nobody could get consoles at this time last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense. Hardware, though, what video game accessories is always a good indicator to know actually where hardware is at, especially with supply and demand restraints and stuff. To know where the rest of the video game market is, it's really important to know what video games accessories are, because people are buying accessories for extra controllers and headsets and keyboards and all that kind of stuff would be thrown in there.
Right. Yeah.
So that's always a good measure of knowing where the industry is at. If that's up, the rest is looking good.
Yeah.
What else? We got the Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS5 DualSense controller was the best-selling accessory of last month.
Makes sense.
Accessory spending during the month increased 11% compared to September 2022, coming in at 1.97 million, which they released not only the DualSense, but they released a special console for Spider-Man that
sick.
sold out instantly.
I bet. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
And then that's it for the Piscatella report, the Circana report. Thank you, Wesley LeBlanc, again for doing all of that work. I love it. It's definitely the most appreciated work of all of the.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of numbers and stuff.
Right, and then trying to break it down into a way that I can spit it back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have for news. There wasn't really a lot of news this week. I played a lot more games this week. I feel like I played a lot more games. I played a lot of 2 games.
Right, yeah. A lot of hours into those.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, I spent my whole Friday last week playing
Kingdom
Hearts, yeah, I completely
As you
forgot.
should.
Yeah.
You should.
Just to catch up, because, like, I didn't do almost anything
That's
October.
a good Friday.
So I was like, I gotta catch up on my gaming.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I'll probably do the same thing tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Just
hell yeah.
get a couple, like, side projects done, clean a little bit, and then just pound out. But it'll probably be Lies of P.
Yeah.
I want to get back into that again.
I don't know how much longer I have of Godfather. I think how long did we said 16 hours? I'm at like hour 10. So I would like to get through that, but I also want to play other old games. Like I'm having a Tony Hawk craving. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So I want to jump into a Tony Hawk, maybe Tony Hawk 2X. I brought that up a little bit ago. That sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't played through that one in a long time.
Man, I'd like to play a Tony Hawk game. I should look into that.
Yeah. They're all backwards compatible on the 360. But,
yeah.
I mean, Tony Hawk 1+2 HD collection is, like, the best Tony Hawk ever.
Right.
Like, it's Tony Hawk 1 and 2 with the moveset of Tony Hawk 3 and 4. So it has all your reverts, your manuals, your spine transfers and stuff. But it's all of those.
I really like
original.
American Wasteland.
I liked it. That game does not hold up.
No?
No, I think we've talked about
Yeah, we've talked about it before. It was fun at the time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I played it since then and was like, kind of got frustrated.
Right.
I know at the time I played a bunch of it.
I had rose-tinted glasses. There's just like, in the majority of the later games, there's always like a roadblock where there's just no way to progress past like
you have
doing
to do
like
a certain
special move, something like in Tony Hawk's Underground 2. It's like do a special move over this dude's head 4 times, and if you don't have the stats for it, you're just fucked.
Right.
And then Tony Hawk's Underground 1 has that same thing where you need a McTwist over the helicopter in Hawaii. You can't progress past that. American Wasteland has that same thing where
a ton of it. It's half the game is
progression
unlocking, and
yeah.
But like when I played, I mean, I loved that back then though, because I felt like, you know,
I think it just doesn't control as well as what, like, Tony Hawk's 1+2 controls like a dream compared to American Wasteland.
Oh, I bet. Well, it's updated and stuff. But I wish that they'd make like a newer, not like a remake, but just a whole new like American Wasteland esque open world game like that.
Yeah, I wonder.
I mean, there's kind of like that, but without the story mode.
Right, and there's also like Session and Skater XL, those other 2 skate sim games that are out now. I think Skater XL has a bunch of cool DLC.
Really?
That's all like, I'm pretty sure they did like the Fantasy Factory and stuff. I know Skate for sure did the Fantasy Factory, but I thought Skater XL did some crazy ass shit. They put Shrek in the game recently too, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in that one. I've been meaning to play that. I think Sessions on Game Pass. Pretty sure. But Skater XL might be on there as well.
I'll have to take a look. I haven't scrolled down that list in a couple months, probably. So
yeah, I mean Tony Hawk is great. But none of the old ones work on a modern Xbox. They only work on a 360.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So like 1+2 is like really your only option on a modern console. Or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
Yeah.
And that is... no.
No?
I would be like, it would be funny for you to play it and then, like, hate it.
Okay.
But I think you might never play a Tony Hawk game ever again
don't say
if you're
that.
trying to... If you want to go have a good time with Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I don't want to reminisce on...
No, you're not going to
like
have that with that game. God, that game's so bad, dude. That game is horrible.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it is.
That's upsetting and really weird. Do you think it would only get better?
No. I mean, that would have been cool. But after Proving Ground, they started doing the skateboard controller games.
Yeah.
It was Tony Hawk Ride, Shred, and then Downhill Jam was kind of like the one that was like in between, where like you could use the Wii Fit balance board as a skateboard.
Oh,
and that was kind of like the prototype for it. And then it was also a regular Tony Hawk game outside of that. But then, yeah, the next ones that they did were Ride and Shred, which were with the skateboard controller. Do I have one of those? No, I didn't bring them with me. At my parents' house, I have every single iteration of that skateboard controller.
Oh, wow.
They have like 4 or 5 different variants, and
Cool.
I have every single one. They're not worth a damn. They're
Oh,
worth like
wow.
pennies. They're fucking garbage controllers.
So funny.
They're so
You think
bad.
just for like collection, like skateboarding collection or something?
Yeah,
Someone would want it, but
I have the limited edition Birdhouse one sealed, and maybe that one, but I don't think so. I think the batteries that come with the skateboard, and probably are killed half the packaging inside.
oh my gosh, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's
I
probably
don't-
just burning from the inside.
Yeah, I don't know what the inside of the box looks like, but I know what the outside of the box looks like, and it looks good. So I'm
That's
gonna
good.
keep it in there.
Oh yeah, just sell it back to Tony Hawk. Be like, look, I have.
Yeah. So my first instance with that game is at a skate demo.
Oh,
And
nice.
my brother and I competed in that skate demo. I was in like a little mini ramp competition,
Oh,
and
funny.
I won like 3rd place or whatever,
That's cool.
and got got a copy of the game early.
Oh yeah.
So weird, such a weird game. But those games are bad. They're fun because they're bad.
Yeah.
And you're on a skateboard controller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine you jump.
No, you lift it up
Right.
like as a manual to do an ollie, and then if you want to do a kickflip, you turn it. You're not
Yeah,
flipping
it
the
doesn't sound very
board.
natural. Yeah.
You're just it has 4 sensors.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one on the nose, one on the tail. So to do grab tricks, you're putting your hand on top of the sensor, but also to move, you're kicking forward past the sensor. So a lot of time you're just fucking stomping the floor really hard on accident.
Right.
Because you're just trying to graze past the
Because you're
sensor.
not actually you're not actually pushing yourself. So
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah.
And then after those games, they remade that same studio would remake Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and called it Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. And that is the worst Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Period. It's not... Neversoft stopped making Tony Hawk games, well, like, at the end of Proving Ground. Proving Ground was the last Neversoft one. I think it was Robomoto who made Ride, Shred, and then HD and 5, I'm pretty sure. I think they did 5 as well. HD is horrible. They made one of the best skateboarding games ever and almost unplayable.
Wow.
Like, they changed the physics, the hitboxes, the way things move and stuff like that. The way grinds work in that game are weird. Like, they just fucked everything up.
Huh.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is the beginning of the PlayStation 4 live... Everything's a live, living, breathing game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's made by people who don't know how to make games. So it's just filled with server issues, and like because you're also like online all the time, you're like clipping through floors, like fucking people bouncing in and out of servers, which like, I mean, it's still the mission structure of like the combo letters or whatever like that, or like
Right.
high score, the high scores and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a better example of, everybody's going to do the high score challenge right now, so we're all teaming up. We need 12 people. We don't have 12 people right now, so we're just fucking waiting for the timer to run out
That's
to do
annoying.
the high score challenge for
Right.
this level. So I'm gonna wait 10 minutes, I guess, because we need the lobby to fill out so I can do the thing.
Right, just so I can do, yeah.
And that's everything. I think the combo letters and the skate letters might be the only exception to that, but
Yeah.
anything with like
so it's
scores
kind of
and
like
stuff.
like a GTA mini game type thing. Where you...
Right, but for everything and
Yeah.
made by people who don't know how to make an online game.
Oh, word.
But on top of that, like, it has the same controls as that Tony Hawk HD, so it feels like shit to play.
Yeah.
And on top of it being broken constantly, like, of course, I'm kickflipping through walls and stuff like that because this game's broken, but the kickflip doesn't even feel good.
Right. It's
It
not even
feels like
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have, that's the one with, like, Lil Wayne's in it and stuff like that, too.
It's funny.
Which I guess Lil Wayne's a pro skater, I guess, but...
I mean, he's been skating for years.
Right. He has his own skate company
I
and
guess
stuff
he
like
hasn't
that. But
necessarily won anything to be considered a pro.
No.
But he's definitely
No.
established, I guess.
yeah, a professional skater, I guess, just means that you ride for a brand. And if you make your own brand, then it's really easy to ride for a brand.
That's so true. That is so true.
Yeah. I know he's also on, like, Shake Junt and Baker now or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's more for the meme of having Lil Wayne on Shake Junt rather than Lil Wayne being a good skater. I mean, the dude could kickflip and do some 50-50 grinds, so...
Right.
He's
He
decent.
can definitely do
but-
like a half pipe or some shit. you know?
No, he's not doing... He might be able to drop in. He's not doing fucking indie grabs or anything.
No, but I think he can at least drop in.
Yeah, dropping in, that's like step 2, you know?
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah. But
Listen,
you
if
skate,
you can
you
drop
got it.
in, I feel like once you drop in, you're like, you're halfway there.
yeah, halfway there to the basics.
Yeah,
Of
which
skateboarding.
which is just, I feel like dropping in's like the hardest part. Everything else is just staying on. I mean, besides
I
the
think
tricks.
that's the hardest mental.
Besides the tricks.
Right.
Tricks is like a whole nother thing, but like
I don't think
just
dropping...
being able to ride around and stuff.
Right, dropping M's not hard to do. Dropping M's, it's the mental thing.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess it's the hardest
It's like
mental
ju-
break.
Yeah, it's like jumping off the high dive.
Yeah.
You know, like, anyone can do it. Like, hands down, anyone can drop in. I mean, you're gonna fall and it's gonna hurt a couple of times, but anyone can do it. It'll take a couple times. But the first time you jump off the high dive, you're gonna fucking suck shit and probably smack too hard across the water and it's gonna hurt. And that's just how you gotta learn how to dive a little bit.
Right.
But it's not hard. It's not. I think it's the mental stuff is hard for people. Like, people look at a quarter pipe and they're like, oh, it's not that tall. And then you get up there and it's like 3 or 4 feet and you're dropping into 3 or 4 feet. You're trust falling yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the hurdle because nobody wants to hurt themselves. Like, that alone is like a human reaction of, I don't want to do this because I'm going to die. Well, you're not going to die, but you might slam. Probably won't slam, though.
Yeah.
You'll probably be fine. You probably will, like, slide out a little bit. Unless you're, like, on the Tony Hawk mega ramp, which that's always funny. There's always videos of people, like, doing that for the first time that shouldn't be doing that. I forgot what fat sweaty dude was dropping in, but that was the bit. He was a fat sweaty dude and he just fucking took it like a 20-foot mega ramp, 12 feet of vert, just fucking took it straight to the flat and he just splattered everywhere. It just Sweat went everywhere.
Gross.
Just like how Tony Hawk gets blood. Yeah, it was like he turned into sweat water.
Like one of those like toys that you throw on the ground and they're like expand.
It expands. Yeah, that's what happened to this dude.
That's so funny.
Funny as hell. But like that shit happens, but that's more likely to happen on that rather than your local skate park quarter pipe with like a half foot of vert and it's all fucking the fucking wave part of the quarter pipe, you know?
Right.
I can teach you how to drop in. I taught Kyle how to drop in. And Kyle might be able to still drop in. But it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I believe anyone can do it. I could teach... If I could teach Kyle how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could do it. I know how to stand on one. I've done, like, longboarding stuff.
Yeah.
Down hills and things. I've just never...
You know,
I had a friend that had a half pipe in his garage.
Yeah.
But I never...
I love mini ramps, dude.
Yeah.
Mini ramps are my favorite. Like, half pipes are cool, but, like, it's a little bit too big for me to be comfortable doing, like, the tricks that I like to do.
Yeah.
But mini ramps are, like, 2-3 foot tall half pipe.
Right.
And
yeah. They're like
that's my favorite shit.
They're, like, just the perfect amount of speed in between.
Yeah. They're, like...
height.
Yeah. Like, as tall as this table.
Right.
Like, nothing big. You have a little coping on it, and then you can fucking bust out little 50-50s and shit, but...
Yeah.
Pop shoves and stuff were my favorite tricks, so I love doing, like, going up and then doing shoves on top. Mini ramps were a lot of fun. We don't have any good ones around here, though. That's what sucks. I would be skating a lot more if we had just, like, a mini ramp in a park somewhere.
The one up the street doesn't have anything good?
No.
I don't think I've been to that one.
All the quarter pipes there are, like, 5 foot plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all up to my shoulders and above. Which is fine for me to ride, but that's not my bag in skating, personally. That's not, like, what I like to do.
Yeah, because you got to get a lot more speed to do anything up it.
Right, and that's also a very small park, too.
Yeah, right. So you're,
It does have, like, a vert roll-in kind of thing at the one corner of the park, and the other corner of the park, there's a full-out bowl that goes down and, like... has, like, I think it's a 3/4 of a bowl, but it has the roll-in into it. So that's nice, but again, that park's very small, so it's, like, super compact.
Yeah,
it's, like,
you gotta
the size
be, like,
of this living room
accurate
area.
with there's not a lot of wiggle room.
Right.
Especially if there's a bunch of people there.
Yeah, and there's usually not. There's this park that's right here, and then, a little bit down this road over here behind us as well. There's another park over by the school.
I know the skate park in Groton is relocating.
Are they relocating?
The indoor building.
Oh, Hive.
Yeah, they have
That's
to,
New
like,
London.
they have to get, right, yeah, New London.
Yeah.
They're getting, like, a bigger place, I think.
Right. Hive, the person who owns that building doesn't want them there anymore, even though they've been there for a while. But that wasn't their original location either. They were
they were somewhere else before that.
Yeah, they were on Bank Street or
yeah.
something in New London. Who knows where they're going to now? But I'd imagine they'll somewhere bigger.
That's what I think they mentioned on their Facebook.
Yeah, I'd imagine somewhere bigger, because Hive does pretty well, that indoor skate park, just because the weather here is so shitty half the year. That's where all the kids go, and then they're all local skate rats that I grew up with.
Right.
So, like, they're just part of that community.
Yeah, and it's safer inside too. You don't have to deal with people that aren't skating and
Right, that's the biggest thing in, like, the Groton skate park is, like, it's in the one closest to us is fine because it's just the skate park, and then there's a couple of baseball fields or whatever. But Groton is just everything in the park surrounds the skate park, and the skate park's right in the middle of it.
Yeah, people are running through it and shit.
Yeah, people are running through it. People are walking dogs around it. There's people playing basketball right next to it, and the basketball goes into the skate park all the time. There's the regular park right next to it as well. So, like, there's parents with little kids that are always like, oh, my little babies and their ears or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't do that because of my child, kind of thing. I think there's always, like, birthday parties or shit happening there.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to skate with no shirt on.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that, but, like, I mean, it's a skate park, so there's smoking, there's drinking, there's,
That's true,
like,
yeah.
people playing
Blasted music, yeah,
like, yeah, I mean, like, it's not unfriendly to kids, but it's not a kid's environment, for sure.
Right.
Like,
so
they aren't going to be like, no kids allowed in the skate park.
Yeah, because kids skate.
Obviously, kids skate.
For sure.
But it's going to be like, hey, we're not going to change our lifestyle to fit your child's lifestyle.
We're the ruffians. We're going to keep it that way.
If you don't want your kid to be a skater, don't bring him to the skate park. I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah. Damn, I haven't skated in a while. Kyle's been trying to get me to skate more again because, I mean, he bought so many skateboards.
I've been wanting to get a board just so I can skate around before shows and mics and stuff.
Yeah.
Not right now because it's cold, but, like, just when I don't feel like talking to anyone, I get there too early. Just skate around the parking lot for 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Just, like, exercise instead of sitting in the corner of a bar, and it's, like, an excuse not to drink either, you know?
Right.
Because I'm not, like, a big drinker, but if I sit there long enough, I will, just out of...
Right.
You know.
I always keep my board in my back seat, but I never have the urge to skate.
I need to get a new one. All I have is that shitty one from the dumpster.
Oh, right.
Which I don't want to do anything to. I just want to, like, keep it as is.
Yeah, you
maybe
want to hang it.
Sell it to a collector, or, hang it for myself once I get, like, a good spot. But that's not one I'm going to... I need to get one that I can just use and abuse.
Right.
Maybe I'll see if Kyle will sell me one of his extra ones.
Actually, yeah, maybe. Yeah, you could be like the internet money or whatever.
Yeah, I'll trade it.
Yeah, trade me 2 months worth of internet money for one of your completes.
Yeah.
And I think you spent like $120 on one of the Blink ones.
Yeah.
That penny board is probably that much as well, though.
If he got it from like Zoomies or something, yeah.
I think he ordered it.
Yeah.
All of his boards have been ordered online. I don't know if he ordered it from Zoomies online. He orders shoes from them all the time and stuff too.
Yeah. My longboard was from Zoomies.
Yeah.
I think it was like 140 or something, 160 maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure my board was.
But it was complete. I was like...
Yeah.
So maybe it was a little more.
I mean, I might have got my board at Zoomies. I did buy all my stuff online. I just don't remember if I bought them at Zoomies or if I bought them from the actual websites of
skating.
Of chocolate, because my board's a chocolate. It's a Jerry Sue chocolate board.
Word.
My grip tape is Mob, but it's the special Star Wars anniversary Mob grip tape with like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fighting. And then my wheels I did get from a local skate shop because they were limited edition as well. My wheels are Mario branded Bones wheels.
Nice.
As well.
I feel like I wouldn't even want to skate on this.
Right.
It sounds too nice.
Right. The Jerry Sue board is also like a limited edition Fortnite parody board or whatever.
Wow.
Like it's the Fortnite alpaca pinata, but in a realistic art style.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've had it for so long, so it's pretty... It's not super thrashed, but it's definitely beat up, so it's not like anything's super pristine or anything, so I don't care. I'm sure... I didn't spend any extra money I wouldn't have on it. It was just these things were available at the time, so I got them. It's like my trucks aren't anything special. My trucks are my brother's old trucks from like 3 boards ago.
Nice.
They're not. In fact, the bushings were so old in those trucks that they were rotted out, so I had to get new bushings. But
wow.
Yeah, I don't want to spend money on new trucks because trucks are expensive.
Yeah.
The trucks that I would rock are $28 a piece, but they're tensor magnesiums. They're very light. Right now I just have like old school indies on, which independent trucks are fine. They're just heavy. And I'm a small boy, so I need something light. Another thing is with skateboards now is everything's above an 8. And I skate a 7.75 or lower. So my board is... I stick with Jerry Sue a lot because he skates like 7.75s. I had a Enjoy... The Enjoy Horses board was a Jerry Sue board, I believe, and it was like a 7.6, and that was like my favorite board of all time.
Yeah.
I loved that board. Wonder if I could find that at some point. Is this a good podcast? Are we you guys having fun?
We segued.
We don't always talk about video games.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about real life games.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, there's gonna be episodes that we just bullshit because like there's video game news all the time, but there's not always video game news worth talking about.
And the people got to know who we are.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Makes it a little bit more personal, I guess.
Yeah, and we got to fill some time in because it has been a slow week.
Dude, it's been so slow. Like, just life just feels like it's moving slow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this whole week has felt so slow. Maybe because I'm not working as much, but just time's moving by very, very slow. It's like somebody put it at half speed or something.
I think it's the weather, too.
Yeah.
Everything's colder, so it's like moving slower because you're just frigid.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so achy.
Yeah.
I go outside and my bones like creak and stuff. I'm like, ugh.
Instantly, yeah.
It's so gross.
And I'm still like, I think it's finally gonna be like consistently cold, but I'm still like, I don't believe it. So I, go out every morning thinking, oh, today it'll be 60 or 70. Like it's been, every other week. And it's just colder now. And I'm like, no, I got to start bundling and planning ahead.
Yeah. I have a sweater underneath a sweatshirt and I went to let the dogs out. It wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. I was still shivering.
Yeah. I wore a really big sweater yesterday thinking like, oh, that'll be fine. And then I realized like, no, I'm going to have to. Because it was like 35 in Worcester yesterday.
Oh, yeah, dude, I bet. Yeah. That city is just fucking cold all the time.
Chilly, yeah. It's always chilly there.
It'll be summertime and that city is
windy,
somehow so much colder.
Yeah, and it's not even like huge, like. It's not like there's a bunch of tall buildings. Like New York makes sense.
It's just wind
tunnels everywhere, but like Worcester's not even. I mean, I guess it's hilly. Maybe the hills have something to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with like sea level or something like that.
It's not even close enough to the water.
No, but it could be high enough up where
that's true, yeah.
Above sea level. I don't know how that works. I don't know sea level math.
It's annoying.
Meteorology. That'd be meteorology. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Well, that is any place than ever to end a podcast. Do you have anything else, Patrick, that you want to leave off with before we go?
No, I don't. No.
No?
Nothing.
Me neither.
Think so.
Me neither. It's been a good one. It's been. Yeah. We'll be back next week. It might be Thursday. It could be Monday, our normal days. Maybe Thursday will just be our normal days as well. Having Patrick here in the morning is definitely a lot better for me because my body likes to turn off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon if I'm not doing anything all day.
Yeah. It's really just like a play it by ear situation.
Right, because you live an hour away from us now.
Yeah.
So it's also convenient when you are working because you live...
Because I drive by on the way back home, yeah.
Right. So we'll play it by ear.
But it'll at least be once a week.
Yeah, it'll definitely be once a week.
The goal.
We just don't know if next week will be Monday or Thursday. We'll talk about it. No worries. No big deal.
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout and be out on the lookout for more Let's Plays. The Godfather will be coming up. The finale of Costume Quest came out today. Go watch that. What else? You can like, comment, and subscribe, do all that stuff. Comment down below if you want to talk about video games and shit. If you want to support the channel, there's a Cash App down below if you want to donate to us directly. If not, you can buy some Pokemon cards to have something physical. If it's your first time using Mercari, use that code down below. It saves you $10 off anything on the app, and also gives me $10 for you just buying shit anywhere on the app.
Yeah, so, the more you support us, the more consistent our schedule can be.
Right, because then we can actually start having this be a job and schedule our lives and having this be a way of income. Because right now it's just a hobby, and it's a great hobby, but, you know, it's nice to... It would be nice to upgrade the hobby at least. Like, I want to... Yeah. That's the big thing, is we talk about that every week. I just want to... I want to keep building things. I want to keep upgrading things.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
Keep improving. I keep getting distracted. This dog is demolishing this freaking toy.
Oh.
And it's just so, like, vicious that I can't look away. Even though it's just, like, foam or whatever.
Yeah.
The stuffing, she's just going ham. It's like...
She's not a fan of daylight savings.
It's like an Animal Planet documentary right now.
Yeah. She's acting out because daylight savings made her so she can't eat on time.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Well, everything probably is a little off, even going outside and stuff. And she hates the cold.
Yeah, she hates the cold, too. She hates everything.
She's vicious. But yeah, that's been the channel. That's been the show.
Episode 28. It's been fun, guys. It's been real. Peace out, Cubs Cubs. Bye.
Ta-ta.